No one knows your application like you do. And for that reason, sometimes the metrics that we serve out of the box, even though we have a plethora of metrics, aren't necessarily going to capture everything that it is that you want to measure or look at your data by. That's where custom metrics come in. There's a number of things you can do with custom metrics, and I'll define a few of those here. I'm going to go ahead and click in on some of these custom metrics that I've already defined for my site just to give you an idea. If I click here, I can see for this metric called background image displayed, I've got different metric types that I can choose. I'm choosing a user timing mark, and this will be displayed in both your RUM and synthetic dashboards if it exists, where I'm leveraging the user timing API to set marks and measures to define what that custom metric might be. You can see what I've used with the API, the variable that I've used to pass in from the client, the performance mark, and here's the human readable name that I give that, so it's easier for me to understand when I'm navigating through my dashboards. This is great if you want to do things like measuring time to first tweet, for example, or other things that aren't going to come out of the box with Core Web Vitals and things like that. Another that you can do is you can say, I want to do custom data. Custom data involves a lot of different things that you can do, lots of different data types. You can see you've got milliseconds and seconds, bytes, numeric values, conversion, or other used for dimensions and data like that. In this case, I'm saying bytes because on the client, I'm leveraging transfer size within resource timing to tell me the size of my largest image and then pass that through our RUM API, given this largest image variable name, passed in that value, and I'm giving it, again, a human readable name just called largest image. Another great opportunity. Some of these examples, by the way, can be found within our knowledge base, our support center. If you look at the top of the page and click on recipes, you'll see some of these defined where you can define these both in RUM and synthetic. The last one that I will look at is conversion. Actually, I lied. This is not the last one. If I want to set a conversion rate, if I want to correlate something with a business metric, like an outcome for whatever it is I'm using to determine, hey, was my user's journey successful or not? In a lot of cases for commerce customers, this is a conversion. When a cart is converted, when someone actually purchased something. Could also be revenue. It could be a lot of different things that you want to correlate. To do that, you would select this custom data here, and you would select conversion. And then just like before, you would pass in the variable name from the API on the client and then give it a human readable name here. And this lets me do awesome things like, again, correlate how much does largest contentful paint really matter? Like what's the correlation between that and the number of users that actually checked out and converted, which we actually have found really good correlation with. The final one that I'll talk about here is if you wanted to actually create more of a dimension or more something that you want to segment by. So I'm going to select custom data. In this case, I want to select other, and I'm going to say this is for A/B testing. This is really great when you want to do comparisons between two different segments that you've defined, much like you would do for something that was predefined, like a region or a browser. In this case, I'm saying I want to compare the different test variants, and I'm going to feed in that variable name, call it A/B test, and that's how I create that other custom segmentation or custom dimension by using custom metrics. There are a lot of different examples of things you can do. This is very extensible, very useful and worthwhile, I think, especially with RUM data. One we didn't talk about was element timing, which is another one which would be great if you want to understand when specific elements are rendering to the page. This is available now, both in synthetic and in RUM, to be able to look at, hey, does this actually match up with LCP? Is the timing the same from what I'm seeing for the LCP candidate for my hero image? Or other images or content that you care about measuring within your site that might not be LCP. Those are some great ways that you can think about creating some of your own custom views and custom metrics within SpeedCurve, both synthetically and within RUM.